Hey guys, welcome back. This is week 11 of this class, coming close to the end. It's almost over, believe it or not. So this week, we haven't had an actual lecture in a while, and I apologize for that. So this week we're going to continue with the sequel. Last week we started with the sequel, and it was just to kind of get you up to date. So hopefully you've completed that, because you'll need to complete that in order to complete this lesson. So there will be an assignment this week going into 11. I want to do a kind of talk about upcoming weeks and so forth to make sure that we get everything in. I know that we started with the weather app and we didn't complete it with the app. I plan on going back to that. But the most important thing about that aspect was showing you how to create a web service. Well, not so much create a web service, but be able to call a web service and receive information using JSON or JSON and pull the information back. So some of you struggle with that and some didn't, but the thing is, it was important. If time allows, we'll go back to that, but I wanted to move on and show you SQL, and that's what we're going to talk about this week a little bit more. We're going to go a little bit more depth of SQL. So if you completed something last week and you've seen how we did it, it's just all back-end stuff at this point. It hasn't really merged into anything great yet, but we still have some videos, several other videos to go through, and I wanted to hopefully get through that. So let's show you something here. So let me look, if you can see the screen right here where we're at currently within the lecture. So we're almost there. It's kind of scary that we're almost there already. So we are in week 11, and this is an introduction to Firebase, cloud-based application week. So we're going to be a little behind, so we're going to finish the SQL stuff this week. And I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that since it's an online class that we have this week off. I put it in my syllabus as we did. I have to double check with that. I'm pretty sure that's the case, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me get back to you on that, and I'll let you know for sure if that's the case. It should be the case. And then then the next week is the 13th when we come back. The week of the 26th, that's when we start, doing more. Well, this might be a consolidated part with week 11. We might just have more Firebase stuff in here. Firebase week 1, maybe Firebase week 2. We will review the final exam. There will be part of it will be questions. I know that we didn't have that on the midterm, and the other part will be a coding exam. I promise it'll be pretty simple at the best, and then your presentation week. So hopefully you guys or your final exam, hopefully you're doing really well at that point with that. Yeah, let me check on, I'll get back to you on the week break. I know that, I'm pretty sure, let me actually check here. So I pulled up where the heck's that? The syllabus, or the thing here, from CCAC, and they're saying the 19th to the 25th is no classes. So to me, that's online as well. I know that there's another school I teach at online. I teach at West Liberty University, and they do have classes, surprisingly. So we'll go with that. That week there will be no classes at all. That's kind of a break for everybody in a sense. So that's what our plan is. So today we're going to go through, well, today, but our videos, I'm going to continue building the content manager using SQLite. So we'll build through that, and then next week we will, I don't know, we'll see. There's so much I want to do, but I can't do it all. That's the problem. I wanted to get into building an app in SQLite. We'll see. But we want to get over to the Firebase introduction. I want to introduce you to Firebase. It's interesting that you see what SQL is, because so you get an understanding what SQL is, and that's cool. But Firebase is kind of like SQL in a sense as well, and it's a different way of storing data. So you're using objects as your database. So it's really fascinating. It's using cloud-based stuff. So we will go over that as well starting next week. So this is the lecture for this week, and this is just all we're going to do over this week is talk about SQL, building it within Java, and then go from there. So hopefully at this point, you know, you've grasped a lot of information in this course, and it's helping you. But there's also one more thing before I forget to tell you. I want to send you guys out this thing to fill out. It's let me actually pull it up here 1 second. It is something that Nancy Grant, she is part of something with the school at South. So let me pull it up here real quick and see what it is. It's like a assessment to see what you've learned in this course, and it's required. And I've actually did a bad job of providing this to you because I've been so busy with this and everything else that I've not did it. So that is on me. Let's see if I can find the email here. Nancy Grant. Alright, so there is RCT conducting required assessment of mobile app certificate program. Thank you for reviewing this. So I'll get the more information on this and send it to you, and have you guys try it out and then send me your results. I'm trying to see what it's trying to accomplish. Okay, so it actually has questions almost. It has questions like all it is actually okay. So there is. I'm trying to see. There's 10 questions on the exam here that they have. So let me see here real quick. I'll send you out the questions and see if you could get the answers. Like, for example, one question is a class contains the blank that perform the class tasks. So the scenarios is methods, functions, or procedures. And so think about the class contains what that performs a class task. We know that it's not functions because functions is something that is centralized, and you know it improves a lot of performances across the board for everything. So it's either methods or procedures. And a method is something that you could call to execute a task, right? A procedure could be a list of different methods. So your answer here would be A, methods. There are other questions like, let's see what else they have here. I'll send you guys out the questions. I'll put it in this module, the questions. If everyone could fill it out, I would appreciate it. And just highlight your answer and submit it back to me. I'll send something out for it this week. And so there's 10 questions, and then there's a create an app which includes at least one text view component, pretty simple, as well as an image view component. So we've talked about that in this class. Students will create and run an app that displays at least a text view component as well as the image view component. Students will send a screenshot of a running app via AVD to the instructor. Actually, I might be able to use one of your previous apps that we've talked about in this class. So let me see here. Introduction, Android app visual views. We might be able to use week 4, and I might be able to send that, or design app visual. So let me check that. Instead of making you guys do it, let me see, because you guys already accomplished it. So why recreate the wheel when you've already did that? So let me find one of your weeks, and I'll use that as the scenario. But I will need you to do the question. So I'll send you guys the Word document with the questions. You can fill it out and go from there and send it back to me. Okay? Try to get back to me as soon as possible by Friday of this week. And then I pass it. I could then pass it over to Nancy Grant, and then she could go from there. How they're doing the scoring is 5 points for if the app runs correctly on the AVD, which it does, and 4 points if the app runs text view or image view but does not display properly. Everyone's accomplished that, so I think you guys will be fine on that. I think that's all she's looking for. So I'll get you questions over this whole thing over, and then you could respond back to me as soon as possible. Okay? Thanks for watching your lecture. I know it's not too long, but enjoy the videos. I apologize if I owe you questions on Slack. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If I've forgotten about you, just keep communicating with me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, thanks guys. Have a good week and happy Thanksgiving early.